Thank you for joining us. We're going to do an overview of stormwater best management practices and cost analysis through the CLASIC tool at Katina Analytics. This is intended for use as a use guide for the Colorado designated planning agencies and development of their 208 plans. But more generally, we're going to be covering just a few different things on how to with CLASIC. CLASIC includes ways for doing life cycle assessment of stormwater infrastructure for both green and gray technologies. As well as what sort of co-benefits and pollution removal estimates that you can get out of some of these design level tools. If you start off by going to classic.erams.com, you're going to land on a page very similar to this one. It'll give you an overview of what CLASIC does. It includes things like the user manual, tutorial videos. This video is going to end up in this tutorial link, so you'll be able to see this again, as well as some case study applications, right? So if you want to look at some of the case studies of people that have used the CLASIC tool to answer their question in their area, these are documented here, so you can kind of see examples of what they're trying to do. To begin with, you'll notice there's not much you can get to in this interface besides just overview material. You got to log into the tool first. So click that login button. It'll take you to the login page. If you do not have an account, use the sign up button, and it's going to walk you through creating a username, password, your first name, your email, authenticating it, all that fun stuff. I do have a password, so I'm going to log myself in. If I spell my password right. Once you log into the tool, it's going to take you back to that landing page, except you'll notice that you have a number of different sections of the tool available now. If you just go top to bottom, that's the intended use of this tool. So it'll start you off by defining your area of interest, specifying some of the inputs to the model, building and running the different scenarios, running the model, and then looking at your outputs is kind of how the CLASIC tool is organized. If this is the very first time you come to CLASIC, you're going to start on a page like this one, about setting up your very first project in here. If you have any questions, there's help tips boiled into all of the tools, so you can open any one of these little question marks and it's going to give you guidance for that particular section. So how do I create my first project? These start off pretty simply by specifying your area of interest and the data sets that you want to use to form the basis of your stormwater model, right? So how do I want to define my boundary? Do I want to draw it on the map? Do I want to use a known location? If I want to do something like go to the city of Fort Collins, where CSU is located, I can use the map tool up at the top here to say go to Fort Collins. I can say I want to use a known boundary of the city, and I want to use the city of Fort Collins as my area of interest. Just simple as that, and you have your area of interest built in. If you pan on the map and want to find a different area, say I want to go down to Lyons, Colorado, you'll notice Lyons isn't in my list. I need to click this refresh button to update to the new spatial extent that I've panned to, and now it'll show me that I can pick Lyons as my area of interest. I'll be the city boundary of the city of Lyons, Colorado. You can then specify your inputs for doing subunits, right? Do I want multiple subunits broken up by census level blocks, census level block groups, census level tracks, or do I want a single subunit, right? I just want to do a citywide average. You can specify your land use and your soil data sets. Again, this will give you tips on what those mean and what they are. And then once I give my project a name, I can click create, and it's going to go fetch all of those different data sets, pull them into the interface, and get me set up for the next steps in the tool. I'll give you a little pop-up here at the bottom, says Lyons demo is created, and you're ready to go. Once you have a project, you'll notice that you have a few more options in this list. I can open up existing projects, right? So if I have other ones, I can look at my other projects that I have. If I want to generate a new one, you'll notice that there's another option in here that I can choose to clone an existing project. So if I want to have my Lyons project, but I want to do something very different with it, one of them's planning, one of them's something completely different, I can clone everything that I've done into that second project.